But, it was just a normal day. It was Tuesday, September 11th, what was it, 2001? Yeah, it was 2001, and hell, we didn't even know what we were doing. Our school was, at the time, I don't know if it still is, but this was like years ago, it probably still is. It was probably next to a few office buildings, and they were closing at the time because they knew it was going on before everybody else was, because I don't know if they were in the loop or whatever. But at this point, I was just happy just playing with shit and just doing whatever. I didn't even know what was going on. But none of us did. We were just having a good time that day. But they closed the school, mainly because the office buildings and stuff are going to be closed, and the traffic was going to be probably pretty bad. I'm like, I didn't even know what was going on. I thought, hell, free day off school. That would have been cool. Didn't matter to me. At the time, I still kind of liked school. And then when you're in that stage, you have all those nice people, but then you don't know. And when middle school comes around, you're fucked, really. Because then, some people say that high school is the worst, or college is the worst. Let me tell you right now. Middle school tests you as a man. Either you make it, or you get the fuck out. It's that simple. And we weren't even at that stage yet. But this was one of the things that was going to change the face of our country and just people who witnessed it. So yeah, we get out of school and shit, and I go over to my dad's. And I'm like, hey, and he's all panicked out a little bit. I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, what's going on? He just sits me down, turned on the TV, and there we see one of the planes hitting either the first or the second tower. I don't remember which one. It was probably the first one, because then they showed a few minutes later of another plane hitting the other tower. It was just chaos at that point, because at first I'm like, I didn't even know what I was like, because right now when I look at it, I'm like, fuck. What the hell is this? I mean, but now I'm like, but back then, I didn't know any better. Hell, a lot of kids my age didn't even know what the fuck was going on. But they knew something was going to happen because of it. And here we are. About 10 years later, I was like maybe 8 years old when that happened. No, wait a minute. No. And even on this day, you're still seeing shit, because right now, I think I just saw someone in their bra and panties just ride a fucking bike. I don't know if they're trying to work on a tan or whatever, but, get to see free shit for the day. I think I'm just seeing shit today, but it doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. But I was probably maybe 11 or, maybe around there. Hell, I don't even fucking remember what I was. It's probably 9 or 8. For all I fucking know. I don't think I was, but shit. It's been so long I don't even remember how old I was that day. As stupid as that sounds, you don't really worry about age, race, or gender. 10 years ago, you just worried about what the fuck was going on, and you just worried about those people in those buildings. Because even then, editing and shit wasn't the best in the world, and as for the respect of those families that they saw their loved ones jump out of the Twin Towers and Pentagon or whatever the fuck, trying to jump down from the building, basically committing suicide in a way, because there wasn't going to be any nets to save those people, because those buildings were just breaking down at any moment. Because Lord knows a chunk of a building could probably break a net and make a hole into the street. And this was in New York, where it's still pretty dangerous. I remember a few years ago when we went to New York, you just can't trust some of those people there. You really can't. Even when we went to the Eiffel Tower, they'll even rip you off to make a quick buck. But it isn't about New York, especially since I think they're building from the Ground Zero site to make some kind of building. I don't fucking know what it is, but some kind of building to represent what happened on the day, and to rebuild not just the spirit of those Twin Towers, what they represented, but, what they will represent in the future. Because once again, there are still people in Iraq, in several parts of that country, maybe a little bit in Iran still, I don't know. They're still fighting for our freedom. They're not home yet. Men and women that already lost their family, not just in 9/11, but in the years to come from those wars. Like I said, when we got Osama, that was pretty much closure for them, but not enough. Because they still want a little bit of revenge, because there are still members of Al-Qaeda today. Because sure, they killed Osama and members of Al-Qaeda in that strike. And sure, they might have just killed the higher-ups, but there's still people on that ladder in the chain that is Al-Qaeda. Hell, they probably just jumped a lot of people up the rankings, and just someone's randomly the fucking leader now of Al-Qaeda. I don't fucking know. Or the Taliban. I don't know. I don't go with the news. I don't look at news much in the world, because sometimes it's just too damn depressing to look at it. But every once in a while there's that silver lining of a cloud, like a news like Osama is dead. And all those fucking Pakis and shit, they can all go to hell, in my opinion. Instead of getting those 32 versions and shit, they'll just party in hell with the rest of the motherfuckers that kill themselves. And suicide is no joke. I'm not trying to make a joke out of this. But if you're going to kill yourself, you're going to crash a plane into a building, along with several passengers, including the pilots and flight attendants on that plane. You're going to fuck everyone's day up, basically, because you want to bomb a building and make a statement. Right now, this is not the time to do that, because we know better. We know what happened that day. Lord knows how many planes were out of in international waters and international airspace and all that mumbo jumbo. But we're ready. 10 years ago, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. But 10 years later, today, we know what happened. And we know what will happen in the future. So,